Hello again, fellow tackers, and welcome to another edition of DTV, Daniel TV. And this week, what a happy coincidence that the selection is from Emma S. And Emma has celebrated this week a TAC membership anniversary. So why not play her selection to celebrate that? So her selection this week was Le Giguodon. It's an up-tempo strummer song like I'm used to do, so you won't be surprised here with the genre. So Le Giguodon, it's a word that I made up from two French words. The first one is gigue, and gigue is normally a folk song similar to the Irish jig. Think of the swallowtail jig, for example, that we find in the song vault. And that kind of music was brought in Quebec here when we had many Irish came here in the early 19th century, 1800 or 1900. So they brought their music and mixed with the French music that we had. So we end up with a kind of, it's our version of the bluegrass, if I can say. So, and the jig is almost always related with somebody dancing on the music. It's flat-footing dancing most of the time. So that's a jig for us. And a rigodon, which is also a kind of dance that you can find in France. It's a little bit at a lower tempo, but the rigodon, it's almost the same thing as the jig. It's almost a synonym, but rigodon normally would be the music that you play without a dancer, and if we say a jig, there's always flat-footing dancing involved with the jig. So I combined the two words, jig and rigodon, to make Giguodon. Because my little song, I felt that it was like those kind of music that you can dance on. But finally, in the end, my song is leaning, I think, toward the Yiddish folk song a little bit. So, preparing that video, I went on YouTube to find some Yiddish folk song, and I found one that I think resemble a little bit my song, or my song resemble that folk song. So, with that said, having talked about jig and rigodon and Yiddish, I've put a few links below the video. The first link with jig, you will see a typical jig dance there from a TV show that we were looking when we were young. That show started in the late 50s and up to the 70s, so you have an extract from 75, I think. This is a jig. And the second link is a typical folk song from Quebec, so I put that there also. And I've put also a Yiddish folk song, so you can, if you want, you can pause now the video and listen to or watch those videos, or you do what you want. So, okay, so without, like Tony would say, without further ado, let's play the song Le Giguodon. A little bit of grip to help hold the pick. we bring the microphone a little bit closer to the guitar and let's hear the Giguodon. Yes, with a little alternate ending to the recorded song. Oh, okay, this was Le Giguodon. So don't forget, you have all the links below that video and also the recorded version of the Giguodon. Next week we will be looking at the song Ainsi va la vie, selected by Julie from Calgary. So Ainsi va la vie, we could translate that to Such is Life. So see you next week for another episode of Daniel TV. Bye-bye.